Blunt concepts and solutions. Solutions that meet the moment.
What's going on, everybody? It's Mr. BCS coming to you again with today's topic. In the family court system series, the devastation that it causes to everyone around you. That it's not just you going through the family court system, it's the family as well. Now, going through family court, you have a lot of emotions, a lot of triggers that could hinder you in your process because you have a lot of obstacles to overcome. And in my case, it was the same thing. I was constantly walking on eggshells. But there were certain things that I couldn't do because of the custody schedule. And so I couldn't go on extended vacations or holidays with my kids. I would ask, her, the mom, first if, it was okay if, he could spend a couple more days. And it would always be no. And I would always have to go and fight these type of things in court. You go to Disneyland, he wants to go to Disneyland. But if his mom is not going to allow him to go, and if you don't plan it out in enough time, then you're not going to be able to go to the court and ask the judge if he will allow you a couple extra days. The limited time or the custody battle or the custody agreement that you come up with may not work in your favor every time. And that's like vacations or, long holidays if you have a bitter baby mom. Not only that, but the trauma that ensues on a child when he is torn between two homes. Financially, your family will take a hit, a big hit, if you try to pursue family court with a lawyer or without a lawyer. There is a financial component to it, and I cannot stress that enough, that you do have to shift money around if you want to be a player in the family court system. Because you're trying to mess up the ecosystem of the family court system, you're going to get roadblocks, a lot more roadblocks than you would ever expect. That's if you're going pro per. Now, if you have a lawyer, that in itself, retainers, making sure that you have that monthly payment if you're making payments to these lawyers, making sure that you're making these payments on time, and then making sure that you have a good lawyer that's going to go in there and get the job done. Because if you're just like most Americans and you're just living paycheck to paycheck, it's really hard to get a high-powered lawyer to fight these type of accusations, if any. Now, I'm not talking about the people that have good standing with their child's mom and you didn't have to go through the family court system. I highly recommend that you do that. They will basically end up making orders and decisions that they say benefit the child when in actuality they don't. Financially, you're going to either lose money by filing paperwork, retaining a lawyer, or just missing hours of work because your attention is going to be elsewhere. And so you have the other siblings that are going through it as well, who are displaying attention-seeking behaviors as they don't have the normal you. You're stressed out, got a lot on your plate, you're trying to figure things out, and your kids don't understand that. So the trauma is there, and they just don't understand because, again, kids look at your mannerisms, they look at your day-to-day activity and what you do and your facial expressions. And when you start to become more distant or away from the home or triggered easily because of what's going on and the stress levels that you have, that right there in itself can really traumatize kids because they just don't understand. And so you have to be aware of that as well. And so when you have a kid who was caught up in the family court system, and when you had enough, and a lot of dads that I've talked to, a lot of support groups, they just simply just can't afford to continue this fight. I mean, you lose your family, and I can attest to that. They come after your family. They try to suck you dry in every aspect just to get the money and then move on to the next family. Every time I would get to, my level, I achieved 50-50 after 9 years of struggle and jumping through all these hoops and hurdles, all off of accusations and smear campaign from the lawyers all the way down to minors counsel. This is how it was. Right when I thought that I was done with it, another accusation came and, they moved the goalpost, tried to take my time away. Since I walked away from that situation, the trauma has definitely hit my son, because I don't see him anymore. It's been about 7 months now. The siblings on this side haven't seen them. Everyone in my family has been affected by what's transpired, and family courts did not see through the BS. You would think after 9 years of going to court, and for me to go into court and have everything stripped from me off of an accusation is just, wow. This is one of the reasons why I started this series. A lot of people don't understand what it takes to fight the family court system, which is basically money. You need to have enough money to sustain and withstand any blow that someone is trying to inflict on you. And that's a lot of money with a high-priced lawyer. So I wanted to close with this. Your family, your wife, everybody are dependent on you to still provide and still continue to give them that energy. If you're going through this, try to change it, try to get some therapy, try to talk to somebody, try to find a coping skill. Go to the gym, lift weights, ride a bike. Cycling is really good for you. Swimming, puzzles. I mean, there's so many things, art, so many things that you can do. Go ahead and start processing emotions if you don't know how to do that. You can also go to my webpage at www.bluntconceptsandsolutions.com. I have consultations on how to process emotions, whether you're a child or whether you're an adult. This is what I do, guys. And it's time that we start understanding what's real and what's not. If you're modeling bad behavior, if you're not in charge of your emotions, how are you going to go into family court when somebody's telling you something about yourself that's not true? This has bigger ramifications because it has to deal with the actual human life. Now, let me know what you guys think. Smash that like button. Please share this video. Comment below for questions, comments, other videos you would like to see. This is Mr. BCS, and I'm out.